Okay, friends, this is the video we talk about embracing endings. And it's a bit counterintuitive to think that when we're talking about vision and, when convergence, that we talk about ending. But actually, yes, we do have to end some things to give space for new things. In fact, the Bible speaks very clearly to this in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. You look at this passage. You've seen it before. We've all heard it. There's a time for everything. There's a season for every activity under the heavens. Time to be born, time to die, time to plant, and on it goes. And as you look at this, you realize, man, that's true. And I like about half of those things. The problem is I don't like these that are in red letters. I don't like a time to die, a time to uproot, a time to kill and tear down and weep more. Most of us, and I'll put my hand up, I have trouble accepting times of loss or decrease or stopping or ending, but this is part of the way of Jesus right here in Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Mm-hmm. And friends, that's why we gave you the book Necessary Endings and encourage you to read that back. I hope you've read the book before watching this video, because there's so much more in that book than what we could ever cover in this brief video. But the problem for us that Henry Cloud points out is that we typically just keep adding and adding and adding. And life tends to just offer way more activity than we can possibly sustain. And so ending some things is necessary, because when we get overloaded, like in this picture here, something is going to break. You can go like that for a while, but not indefinitely. You've got to either purposely let some things off of your load, or some things are going to fall off your load. And it's better to end things by purpose than just letting it happen. And sometimes we think, well, if we just ignore it, it'll just go away. Things will just get better. No, friends, it doesn't. The fact is that we just don't like endings, right? We tend to avoid them. And in your curriculum, there are some possible reasons there given as to why maybe you have found difficulty ending things. So we encourage you to go through them and see which ones might apply to you. Now, one of the reasons that stopping maybe is especially hard for you is because you've had certain experiences that have formed beliefs in you that make it hard to stop, hard to let go.
Right.
So do you remember this, the experience cycle we talked about earlier in the course, in an earlier course? We have an experience, and then we interpret it. And out of that interpretation, we form a belief. And it's out of our set of beliefs that we then make our choices, which tends to reinforce experiences. And so perhaps, friends, one of the reasons, or some of the reasons, you have a harder time ending some things is because you've developed some beliefs around ending. Like, here's a belief: I'm loyal, so I never quit. That's a belief you have. Or maybe you've identified that as a value. Or I'm responsible, so I never give up. Or maybe it's, I never can figure out what's to do next, so I just have to wait and let things happen. Or maybe you have a fear that the unknown could lead to disaster, so I better not risk anything. And then here's one that affects a lot of us, and I'll put my hand up on this one too, that if I have to end something, it meant I failed. These are examples of beliefs that we may have formed that need to be reinterpreted and examined again. Really? Is ending always failing? Ecclesiastes says, no, it isn't.
Henry Cloud in his book, and there's a quote in your curriculum, it says, when we fail to end things well, we are destined to repeat the mistakes that keep us from moving on.
Oh, isn't that good?
So he's actually saying failure is not the ending, or ending's not failure. It's actually when we fail to end things, that is actually the problem.
Mm.
Because then we get frustrated that the thing we always keep doing never produces a different outcome. And it just gets heavier and heavier. And well, lots of us would say, yeah, that sounds familiar. When we are stuck or spinning our wheels or going around in circles, look for a necessary ending that you are avoiding. Someone once said, "What am I pretending not to see?"
Mm.
These are penetrating questions for us.
Yes. Yes.
If there is one, it will demand to be resolved before letting you pass.
Mm.
If there is an ending, you need to resolve it before you can really pass through it. When you do resolve it, well, then all of a sudden you find that energy and time and more track to move forward when you actually are faithful to end these things that need to be ended.
You know, John, when I first read the book, it gave me a sense of relief that endings are normal. It's a part of life and it's okay. In fact, it's actually healthy to end some things. Whoa, what a relief.
Yeah.
Really helpful.
Yeah. And it's a mindset that you grow, you know, that it's a shift in thinking.
Yes.
Here's part of the mindset is when something ends, it opens the door to something else to begin. A seed has to die. It's that same kind of concept, right?
Mhm.
If we didn't have endings, there'd be too much life to deal with, wouldn't there?
Yes, exactly.
It would be overwhelming, all the stuff coming at us if there weren't endings. And like Ecclesiastes says, a season for things to end.
Well, even our life is a metaphor on that one, John. You know, through our life, we accumulate material possessions. And it gets to the point where your place is just jammed with stuff.
Yeah.
And you realize that it actually doesn't feel good to be that full of stuff. And
Right.
you have to actually let go things, and it feels fresh and light when you let go some things.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I mean, the opposite is true too, where sometimes you let go of things and it does hurt. We acknowledge that too. There's sometimes pain involved in these things, but it still is probably the right thing to do. Here's the choice. What is in your life that you need to stop? What is in your life that you need to let go of? We must make choices about what our lives will be full of and what we'll be free of. And so that choice is what we want to keep nudging towards you. We want to introduce you to two principles that will help you with this mindset. Ways to look at the necessity and potential of endings and how to get it done. The first principle is blue ocean. The book Blue Ocean Strategy is a bestseller based on the concept of thinking and planning differently than what everyone else in the industry is doing. So it's a book for companies, for business, and so it talks about industries, but the principles actually go beyond business and company and can actually be applied to our lives. The concept is to create, as far as the business goes, it's to create uncontested market space and set yourself apart, to free yourself from the usual boundaries that you've gotten used to in order to think, work, and live differently. So now take that and then let's translate it to blue ocean living. This is taking whatever is most important to us, our values, our strengths, our relationships, and creating uncontested space for them to develop and flourish. Here's the process. It starts with reducing and eliminating some things. You can't go further in your life, in your personal development, in your leadership development until you make space, time, and energy. You must find those necessary endings. Then you can increase, raise up, uncover, create, realign, set apart, and grow. Now we'll come back to the blue ocean idea later in a different module. So the second principle I want to talk to you about is behind the idea of pruning. Growing takes pruning. Now, many don't like pruning because it feels destructive and feels final. If it dies and you cut it off, then again, Dan, that brings back the idea of failure, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
This thing has died. I failed it, and so now I got to cut it off. So it has a destructive feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yet the principle behind pruning is that you're looking to the future with hope and believing in its new potential.
Yes.
Pruning maximizes health, actually. Pruning redirects energy from an undesired place to the place where it can be more fruitful. See, and that's what we're talking about here. We're ending something so that energy can be redirected and be more fruitful in another place. Okay, if this is something that's hard to wrap your head around, we have a famous psychologist that we're going to show you in a video. Listen to what he has to say.
Dr. Switzer?
Yes, come in. I'm just washing my hands.
I'm Catherine Bigman. Janet Carlisle referred me.
Oh, yes. Fear of being buried alive in a box.
Yes, that's me. Should I lay down?
Oh, no, we don't do that anymore. Just have a seat. And let me tell you a bit about our billing. I charge $5 for the first 5 minutes. And then absolutely nothing after that. How does that sound?
That sounds great. Too good to be true, as a matter of fact.
Well, I can almost guarantee you that our session won't last the full 5 minutes. Now, we don't do any insurance billing, so you would either have to pay in cash or by check.
Wow, okay.
And I don't make change.
All right.
And go.
Go.
Well, tell
What?
me about the problem that you wish to address.
Oh, okay. Well, I have this fear of being buried alive in a box. I start thinking about being buried alive and I begin to panic.
Has anyone ever tried to bury you alive in a box?
No, but truly thinking about it does make my life horrible. I mean, I can't go through tunnels or be in an elevator or in a house, anything boxy.
So what you're saying is you're claustrophobic.
Yes, that's it.
All right, well, let's go, Catherine. I'm going to say 2 words to you right now. I want you to listen to them very, very carefully. Then I want you to take them out of the office with you and incorporate them into your life.
Well, shall I write them down?
Well, if it makes you comfortable, it's just 2 words. We find most people can remember them.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Okay, here they are. Stop it!
I'm sorry?
Stop it!
Stop it?
Yes, S-T-O-P, new word, I-T.
So, what are you saying?
You know, it's funny. I say 2 simple words, and I cannot tell you the amount of people who say exactly the same thing you're saying. I mean, this is not Yiddish, Catherine. This is English. Stop it.
So I should just stop it.
There you go. I mean, you don't want to go through life being scared of being buried alive in a box, do you? I mean, that sounds frightening.
It is.
Then stop it.
I can't. I mean, it's been with me since childhood.
No, we don't go there. Just stop it.
So I should just stop being afraid of being buried alive in a box.
You got it. Good go. Well, it's only been 3 minutes, so that will be $3.
Actually, I only have a 5, so
Well, I don't make change.
then I guess I'll take the full 5 minutes.
Fine. All right. Well, what other problems would you like to address?
I'm bulimic. I stick my fingers down my throat.
Stop it! What are you, nut of some kind? Don't do that.
But I'm compelled to. My mom used to call me fatty.
No, we don't go there.
But I've been having this dream.
No, we don't go there either.
But my horoscope did say...
We definitely don't go there. Just stop it. What else?
Well, I have self-destructive relationships with men.
Stop it! You want to be with a man, don't you?
Yes.
Well, then stop it. Don't be such a big baby.
I wash my hands a lot.
That's all right.
It is?
I wash my hands all the time. There's a lot of germs out there. Yeah, don't worry about that one.
I'm afraid to drive.
Well, stop it! How are you going to get around? Get in the car and drive, you kook. Stop it!
You stop it! You stop it!
What's the problem, Catherine?
I don't like this. I don't like this therapy at all. You're just telling me to stop it.
And you don't like that.
No, I don't.
So you think we're moving too fast? Is that it?
Yes. Yes, I do.
All right, then let me give you 10 words that I think will clear everything up for you. You want to get a pad and a pencil for this one?
All right.
Are you ready? All right, here are the 10 words. Stop it, or I'll bury you alive in a box!
Okay.
You know, John, every time I see that video, I laugh. I never get tired of that one. It is so true to life that there's just some things we just need to stop.
That's
Just
right.
Stop it.
I'm sure those 2 words will stay in your mind for a while now.
Yeah, that's right. And yet it's also humorous because there are some things that are difficult to stop. You know, pruning is not easy. It's work and it's painful sometimes. And some endings are hard. So we don't want to just pretend like this is just all a big joke. However, there are some things where you have to come to the point where you say, that's it. I'm done with that. I'm stopping that.
Yeah.
So just want to remind you, the assignments are in the materials tab there. And we've got curriculum for you. There's more in the curriculum than what we can cover right here in the video here. So please engage what we've given you there. And now in this next video, we're going to talk about flourishing forward.